Hi, welcome to video 2 of the 7 Secrets to Childbirth. Now, the second secret that I want to talk to you about today is gathering the right support network. Now, we want to gather people around who share your vision, who are going to share their knowledge, their expertise and their wisdom with you so that you can continue on your journey, discovering what it is that you need to discover, and working out what it is that you need in order for your birth to flow the way you want it to. Alright, so there's a few key areas here that we're going to look for support. Although before I get onto that, I want to make another note, which is with my work in energy healing, what I've discovered is that a lot of women feel they don't have support or can't speak out. But we actually have this sort of superwoman syndrome happening at the moment where women feel that it's weak to ask for support or help, or that they should be able to do it all on their own, or that it's not, they're the only one that needs help or that needs to reach out for support. Now, this couldn't be further from the truth. You're not supposed to do it on your own. It's quite interesting to look at archaeological images of birth, and it's always a woman who's birthing surrounded by a number of people, often 3 or 4 or 5 other women surrounding them and supporting them, either physically or emotionally or in practical ways, but also just holding that space. It's a very important job to hold the space for the woman as she comes through pregnancy and birth and into the first few days and weeks with the baby. So the first area that you're going to really need to choose carefully is your caregiver. Now, midwives are recommended by the World Health Organization for healthy pregnancies. So if you're not showing any high risks, the World Health Organization does recommend that you are primarily cared for by a midwife who is an expert in natural birth and normal pregnancy. We want to start to look for experts if and when a problem presents itself. So we want to be cared primarily by someone who's going to facilitate this emotional and spiritual experience that is pregnancy and birth, as well as the physical and mental experience. So it's not just a physical experience, it's very much emotional and spiritual and mental turning inward experience as well. And so midwives are trained, especially the independent midwives, are trained to facilitate this process. So carefully choose your caregiver that is going to support your vision. And in other areas of our life, we'll often interview a few different people, we'll get referrals, we'll get recommendations. If we had a serious illness, people would often want to get a few different medical opinions. But for some reason with birth, we don't tend to do that, but you really do need to do that. You need to look around, get recommendations from people. The internet's a great resource now for looking up all sorts of different things to find. There's all sorts of different midwifery programs now as well, all around the world, where you get one-on-one care, or there's team midwifery programs, birth centres, home births, hospital birth. There's so many different programs out there, so really looking around in your area to find the best thing that suits you, that's going to give you the outcome that you want. The second area is looking at doulas and birth educators. So doulas and birth educators are not necessarily midwives. They don't have that medical training that a midwife may have, but they are experts in normal birth and at holding the space and educating you as to what it is that you're going to need to have the birth that you want. So obviously this is a part of your birth education, and I'm here to support you beyond just these videos. So that is my doula role of actually supporting you and supporting your space and helping guide you along this journey. So it's really important to connect in with doulas and birth educators who are going to be able to guide you really down the path that you want. And it might just even save you a lot of time if you find someone who understands what you want and knows how you can, offer you the resources without you having to spend hours and hours looking online. It's a great help. Then there's yoga teachers who specialize in prenatal yoga. So there's a lot of connection between yoga practices and birth, which is why so many women are drawn to yoga during their pregnancy. One of the key things is the yoga breathing, deep breath in through the nose, deep into the lungs, long slow breath out, which creates a relaxation response in the body, switching off the thinking mind and letting that primal part of our brain take over, which is what we need in labour. The hormones are going to come, the labour hormones are going to come from there. So yoga teacher, a good prenatal yoga teacher is a great person to connect in with, to go to yoga classes. You might do some online and some in person. As I said earlier, it's really important while you're getting a lot of information online to connect in the real world with real people, and create a support group, a tribe, and real connection with people that are going to support and guide you along the way. The yoga classes also help to align the body, to release tension, to help the baby to come into the best position for labour. And many, many women will say that the breathing that they learn in the yoga class, the relaxation techniques that they learn in yoga were one of the fundamental key aspects. I'm just going to turn that off and start that bit again. So many, many women will say, I've heard many women say, and many, many more will, that the relaxation and the breathing that they learnt in their yoga class was the absolute key tool that they used in labour. So many women will tell you the deeper they breathe, the more calm and centered and relaxed and focused they were, the less pain they felt in their contractions. So your breathing techniques often require you to release the rib cage. It's a practice. We're used to breathing up here quite short, being rushed and stressed, and that actually brings on our stress hormones instead of breathing nice, big, deep, calm breaths. So you'll learn that in yoga. You'll also, through yoga classes or some support groups that midwives, doulas and birth educators hold, find a place to connect with other women who are like-minded and on the same journey that you are, and they will become invaluable support, and as I said earlier, might even become your lifelong friends. One of the couples that we met at our first birth education classes are still our very close friends 16 years later. Friends and family. So it's important to start to pull in a little closer in regards to your birth. Friends and family who are going to support your vision and are on the same page as you. And anyone that is a bit negative, so if you're saying that you want to have a natural birth and you're going to a birth centre or a home birth, or you're wanting a drug-free birth, any negativity around you, you really don't need that. So as far as your pregnancy and your birth goes, we need to keep those at a bit of arm's length and maybe not engage in those conversations with those people. I've had many clients over the years say, and I did experience this especially with my first, that people who are being negative, who think you're being naive because you want a natural birth, or have their negative story, all they've got is their negative story to share with you, then you really might want to keep those people at arm's distance as far as this conversation goes, and pulling closer some friends and family who really do see your vision and want to support you. But another thing to do here is actually invite these people to watch these videos, to attend some support groups with you, or even attend yoga class with you. So say for example your mum or sister or close friend doesn't really see why you want to do what you want to do, but you feel that if they did, they would be the perfect person to share your journey with. Then it's really ideal to take them along to classes with you. I always allow family members to come to the classes so that they can get this information as well, bring them onto the same page as you, and be that support person that you need. And obviously your partner needs to come onto the same page as well, so making sure that they attend, listen to these videos and attend whatever classes and groups that are going to help your partner come onto the page that you need as well. So the other crucial area for support on your journey is natural health practitioners. You want to make yourself the healthiest that you can be, healthiest for your baby, and so that your body can work at its best through the birth and beyond. So yes, you can grab vitamins off the shelf for pregnancy, and they're good, but you'll probably find on the side of the pack they do say, you know, not for deficiencies. What is even better, if you can, is to get yourself to a natural health practitioner, to a naturopath, to a dietitian, homeopath, whatever it is that you feel you want to go to, so that you can get exactly what you need to bring your body to be the healthiest that it can be. So these things will really help the birth. Natural health practitioners such as naturopaths also can give you herbs to help tone the uterus, make sure your iron levels and all the other supporting nutrients are what they need to be, so that you can be the healthiest that you can be. What can happen is, in pregnancy, you can start to notice any weakness or any crack in your health can start to really show itself. And these ailments can become bigger problems, and in fact even lead to intervention if they start to pose a higher risk for you for your labour. So a good example of that is swollen feet. Everyone says, oh, that's normal in labour. It is pretty normal. A lot of people suffer with that, but it doesn't have to be, and it's actually a sign that your body's starting to not cope with the pregnancy, and can lead, if it develops further, to intervention in your labour and perhaps being induced. So what you want to do is bring your risk factors as low as possible and bring your health up as high as possible. If you go to the radio show, Empowering Motherhood Radio, I have got a series called the Mums Toolbox, and it's interviewing different people about different natural therapies. So you can listen to a whole hour about various different natural therapies to get more of an understanding of how to use these natural therapies, what they are, what a consultation is, what sort of ailments they're really good at helping with, and where's the best place to find someone for you. Now, if you do go to some sort of natural health practitioner, please go and find someone who does specialise in pregnancy, birth and early parenting. Okay, they're going to be a wealth of knowledge for you. When you combine all of these people together and you're bringing them in as your support team, you will not only bring your risk levels as low as possible, put yourself in the best position for the birth that you want, but you're also going to create a lifelong network to support your family and your family's health as you go along. You're also probably going to meet some friends, some like-minded people that will support you quite a long way through your journey. And these are absolutely paramount, especially in the early days, weeks and months. Right into that first year or two of a new baby, it's really important to have people that are on the same page as you, that you can support each other and set up your own little support network to look after each other, someone to bounce ideas off and someone to talk to. I think a lot of anxiety in motherhood seems to come from women not having connections with like-minded people. And perhaps feeling really isolated. So if we can form these connections as early as possible and support each other through that journey, you're really going to be in a much better place later on. So make sure you go to the radio show and check out some of the podcasts that will enhance this very topic about finding the right support, gathering your support team that support your vision, and this is one of the absolute key elements to having a positive, empowering birth. And I'll see you in the next video.